Welcome back, Star Beings. Welcome to Spiritual Ascension, where we honor the soul, serve our life's purpose, and at the same time raise our vibration. This is Spiritual Ascension. My name is Anthony. Thank you for joining me once again. So today I want to talk about the spiritual mission or the spiritual effects of the coronavirus, because I want to get this information out there to the public. So right now around the world, there is this huge pandemic, if you don't already know, the coronavirus, which is causing a lot of fear because there's a lot of misinformation put out there. This video is not going to be about that. I already made one about that prior. So today I just want to talk about some of the spiritual effects that are going to happen through the coronavirus and some of its spiritual purposes. So at one level, the coronavirus, one of its spiritual purposes is to bring people together. And what I mean is that this virus is worldwide. It's very easily contracted, and everyone around the world, even if there's some countries right now that do not have it, or some states or cities around the world that do not have it, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get it, but this is a world epidemic or a pandemic. So right now, when this is all said and done, by the end of this year, there's going to be a higher vibration on the planet and within ourselves due to this pandemic. It's actually going to raise our vibration. It's going to raise the planet's vibration, and it's going to make us, for a period of time, it's going to make us connect. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're a famous athlete, a famous movie star, if you're poor, if you live in the suburbs, if you live in the projects, if you live in jail, doesn't matter, or prison, it doesn't matter what country you live on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your religious beliefs. None of those things matter. Everyone is being affected. This virus doesn't pick and choose, okay? It doesn't. So every man, woman, and child are susceptible for getting the virus. Every age group is susceptible for getting the virus. Every race out there is susceptible to getting the virus. Every religious person, religious belief system, everyone from all over will get this virus, meaning it doesn't play favorites, right? It doesn't care who you are, doesn't care your gender, doesn't care about your race. So we all have something in common. So right now, at this point in the coronavirus pandemic, everyone is living their life. When I say everyone, let me change that. A lot of people, most meaning 51% or more, okay? Whenever I say most, I mean 51% or more, right? Out of 100%. 51% or more people are living their life right now in complete fear. Not just fear, though. Some people are living a life in fear, but they're also living a life where they're protecting, they're doing their part to protect others from getting this virus, right? But what's going to happen over the next year is we're going to be able to relate. I can relate to somebody right now in Europe that is going through this pandemic, because where I live in the United States, we're going through it too. Somebody in Iraq can relate to somebody in Australia who's going through this pandemic. Somebody in, I don't know, let's say Mexico can relate to somebody who's in Brazil, right? Somebody in Chile can can feel compassion for those who are going through it in Croatia. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the world, this pandemic is going to affect all of us. Doesn't mean we're all going to get infected. Just on a passionate, loving, caring, worldwide level, it's going to affect us in a very positive way. So sometimes even the worst things like the coronavirus and what it does and those things like that, and it causes all this fear. And again, the coronavirus doesn't cause the fear. It's just the false information being put out there is what's causing the fear. The virus doesn't cause the fear itself. Um, it it's just part of the fear that comes from this virus is just part of a natural thing that happens when we're not prepared. And I think that's probably the biggest reason why there's so much fear, is because we weren't prepared for this. We weren't prepared for an outbreak like this. Okay? So believe it or not, there's a lot of good things that are going to happen through this pandemic. You have to also remember that we are spiritual beings living a temporary human existence. We are eternal. I'll say that again. We are eternal. Okay? We are eternal. So whoever passes from this virus, and my projections from my guides when I get information and I ask, what's the current outlook worldwide? I know there's a lot of numbers being thrown out there. I can see by the end of the year, maybe 400 to 600,000 people not affected, but would be killed worldwide by this. Now I'm not trying to spread false news or anything like that. That is just from what my guides have told me, but that resonates with me. Doesn't mean it's going to resonate with you. I'm not saying just because you're hearing me say it, this is just my own individual singular belief, okay? That up to 605, between 4 and 600,000 people worldwide will end up losing their life to this pandemic, okay, over this entire year. Long term, after we have a cure for it, there might still be people dying, here and there from it. It's going to definitely die down big time. But, over time, we might reach 1 million worldwide over time. But right now, I don't see, and my guides haven't really mentioned anything more than 4 to 600,000 people worldwide. Okay, so, and if you look at 7.7 billion people on this planet, that's still a very small percentage. Okay, so the chances of you getting it still is very low, but that's not, again, I just wanted to throw that out there. But again, this video is more about the spiritual mission and the spiritual effects of this. So you might, sometimes there's an outbreak in different countries, and sometimes it's contained to that country. It might spread to 1 or 2 other countries. But this one, this is affecting us worldwide, right? So on a worldwide level, everyone can relate to somebody else, right? So if somebody's going through it in another country, they can relate to somebody else. So this is actually going to raise our vibration, because it's going to create compassion around the world. This is going to create worldwide compassion for one another. And it's going to help raise the vibration, not only of the individual feeling compassion, but as a collective, because I am one individual, right? So anything I do positively raises my vibration. But as a collective, meaning the entire planet is going through this affects everybody on the entire planet, right? So if the entire planet, if there's millions and millions, maybe even 1 billion, because there's 7.7 billion people on the planet, millions, hundreds of millions, or even 1 billion people find compassion for other people through this crisis, that is going to not only raise their vibration, but as a collective, it's going to raise the planet's vibration. That is what this is going to end up doing. So the coronavirus is obviously something that is causing a lot of fear right now because of a lot of misinformation. It's fast moving. Right now, it's definitely taken plenty of lives around the world. It will continue to. But again, don't stop living your life in fear. Live your life, be smart, follow the safety protocols that are being given to us from what we know right now, as far as washing your hands, using sanitizer. I'm sorry to say, I don't know what this toilet paper thing has to do with any of this, but whatever. The toilet paper just I don't get it. But as far as like the spiritual mission of this, it will definitely raise the vibration of the planet. So, and we have to always look at, and even on the smaller scales of things, nothing to do with the pandemic, even just smaller things in our lives, When something bad happens, um, there's usually something really good that comes out of it. Whether it's, you learned a powerful lesson, and now you're a better person because of it. Of anything. We're not talking the pandemic, we're just talking about anything. Whenever there's negative things, we like to think about all the negative effects, but I want to tell you on this channel, on this video, that there's going to be a lot of positivity, a lot of positive things coming from this virus. It's going to make us unified. It's going to raise the vibration of millions of people, billions of people. It's going to raise the Earth's vibration. So that is the spiritual mission of this coronavirus, is to help raise the vibration of the planet. And doing so, it's going to cause deaths. But we have to understand that we are a multi-dimensional being. This is not our only life. And if it's in your contract, in your spiritual contract, to die from the coronavirus, you will die from the coronavirus. Okay? If it's in your spiritual contract. There's a lot of people right now that might have exit points. And you might have an exit point. Obviously, you don't know about exit points, like when your exit points are. I had one exit point that happened to me a little over, like, what are we in, March? So it happened 15 months ago. I had an exit point, but I'm still here. I survived. But if anyone has an exit point coming up, this virus could be their exit out, meaning it could cause their death and they can go back to the universe, back home. And they will do a life review and they will choose their next life to live. So again, without death, okay, without all the effects that this coronavirus is going to do negatively, if there's nothing negative about this virus, then there's nothing positive to take away from it. In other words, the compassion that we're going to feel around the world, that we're currently feeling for one another, and it's only going to grow stronger and stronger, that compassion is compassion because of the deaths of the people, not just the deaths, but the people that are not only getting this virus, but the people that are losing their life from this virus. There's a lot of compassion that's going to come out of this. So in the deaths, there is something greater, there's something more beautiful to come. So it's, again, like I said, sometimes we look at the negativity parts, we look at the negative parts of any situation, and we find it very hard to look at anything positive. But the positive effects of this virus is going to raise the vibration of this planet, bring more compassion to one another, and it's going to bring the world closer together. It really will bring the world closer together, because this world is divided by religion, divided by race, divided by not just continents, but divided by a lot of negative things that still occur on this planet, unfortunately. We are divided, but this virus is going to unite us in compassion and love for one another, and that is the key. That is the takeaway. Will it cause deaths? Yes. Will people and families be affected? Yes, but a lot of those families that might not be religious, or might not be spiritual, that are affected, they might become very spiritual due to a passing of a loved one. And sometimes we never look at that either, that, on our own spirituality or our own religion, whether we have one or not, right? If you personally have a belief, a religious belief, or you don't, sometimes a passing, a death, a worldwide occurrence like this brings you closer to either spirituality or brings you closer to some sort of religion that you're going to practice moving forward. So it does a lot of, in the negative things that it causes, it also, the effect of that is the raising of the vibration. The effect of that is possibly you or somebody is now going to enter the spirituality, or is going to enter, a religious belief system. And that is a positive thing, because that itself raises the vibration of the planet. There's a negative cause, there's always going to be a positive effect, right? So just keep that in mind. I just want to share that with you. Don't be afraid to live your life. Still go out there, do what you need to do. Be safe, take the precautions that are being asked of you, but don't stop living your life. Don't let fear control you, because fear is the number one. It is truly the number one thing that lowers your vibration. And again, this right now, this planet, on a collective basis, this planet has already dropped in vibration. This planet has dropped in vibration. You yourself might have already dropped in vibration due to the fear of this pandemic. But don't worry, when it's all said and done, the planet is not just going to recover that vibration, it's actually going to be higher because of the compassion and everything that it's going to do in a positive light, because that negative cause, which is the coronavirus, will have a positive effect on spirituality. It will have a positive effect on your vibration. It will raise your vibration. This pandemic will bring a lot of people to spirituality. This pandemic will bring a lot of people to religious beliefs that maybe they didn't have before. And again, all that also raises the vibration. So don't fear it. Take precautions though. Don't live your life carelessly. Live your life safe. Take precautions, but don't fear it. Just don't fear it. And if you know in your heart and you truly know that you're okay and you're going to be okay, you manifest that reality and you will be okay. And I'm here to tell you, it's all going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. At the end of the day, when all this is said and done, everything's going to be okay. Life will move on, okay? So thank you again for watching. Please have an energetic day, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, love, and light. Stay safe, but live your life.